You know that feeling when you finally get somewhere you're supposed to belong, only to have someone show up and tell you you're not welcome? Picture this. It's barely 5:30 a.m., fog's thick as soup, and I'm out on my dock, hauling a net full of snapper off my beat-up fishing boat, the Salty Raven. The ocean's whispering secrets, the kind only a guy like me, who's spent half his life on the water, can hear. Thin sharp heels clack on the wood behind me, and a voice cuts through the mist like a knife. You, drop that slimy mess and face us. You're out of here today. I turn around, net still dripping, and there's this posse straight out of a corporate Ad 6 folks in crisp suits, staring at me like I'm a roach in their salad. Leading the pack is a woman, mid-50s, hair so blonde it's practically glowing, clutching a leather folder like it's her lifeline. She's got this look like she's used to people bowing when she snaps her fingers. I'm Veronica Steele, president of the Crescent Cove Homeowners Association. She says, like it's a royal title. And you're trespassing on a historic estate. Pack your junk and go. Behind her, her crew, 3 guys in matching blazers, a younger woman filming me on her phone, and some old guy checking his watch knob like trained dogs. I wipe my hands on my jeans, salt-crusted and worn, and squint at her. Sorry, Veronica, but I own this place. Bought it 3 weeks ago, moved in last weekend. The house behind me, $10 million worth of glass and stone, perched on a cliff like it grew there catches the sunrise, glowing like it's daring her to argue. Her laugh is sharp, like she's spitting glass. Own it. You, with that floating scrap heap. She waves at my boat, the Raven, her hull scarred from years of honest work. This is the Whitaker estate, promised to our community by its late owner, Edward Whitaker. You're nothing but a squatter. The air gets heavy, her crew smirking like they've already won. I'm just a guy in fishing boots, right? Some drifter who washed up in their fancy coastal town. But here's the thing, they don't know me. They don't know I'm Ethan Yamada, ex-Navy intel, now a private maritime investigator who plays fisherman to blend in. And they sure don't know about Edward, the old man who left me more than just this house. I smile, calm as the tide. I've got the deed inside. Legal, notarized, paid in cash. You want to see it, or are you just going to keep yelling? Veronica's face twists, but before she can fire back, I hear sirens. She's called the cops, thinking she's got me cornered. 2 officers stroll up, a no-nonsense woman, Sergeant Carter, leading the way. I hand her my papers, title, transfer records, all legit. She scans them, raises an eyebrow. These check out. County seal, filing dates, all in order. Mr. Yamada, you're the owner. Veronica's jaw drops, her crew shuffling like kids caught stealing. This is outrageous, she snaps. Edward promised that house to Crescent Cove. Sergeant Carter cuts her off. No legal claim, ma'am. You're on his property. Leave, or I'll cite you for trespassing. They slink off, Veronica hissing threats under her breath. But I'm already thinking about Edward. He wasn't just some rich guy, was my mentor, the one who hired me 3 years ago to hunt a lost ship. The Maria Luz sunk off this coast in 1638 with a fortune in gold. We found it, split the $50 million salvage rights. But more than that, he taught me how to read people like Veronica vultures who use power to prey on anyone they think doesn't belong. He warned me about her, said she'd run this HOA like her personal fiefdom, finding people out of their homes if they didn't fit her mold. And now, 3 days after I move into his old house, here she is proving him right. That night, I find what Edward left Maya's safe under the study floor, combination set to the day we found the Maria Luz. Inside, it's a gold mine of dirt, bank records showing Veronica's payments to a guy named Victor Kane, photos of Edward's yacht with its hull tampered, and a contract for a luxury resort on this very cliff signed by Veronica and a developer, dated a week before Edward drowned in a boating accident. My blood runs cold. Edward didn't just was murdered, and Veronica's fingerprints are all over it. Next morning, she's back, this time with a fake marina inspector cousin, Greg, posing with a shiny badge and a clipboard full of bogus citations. Illegal mooring, unsafe vessel, $5,000 a day in fines. He barks, smirking like he's got me. I pull out my phone, zoom in on his badge. It's a joke. Wrong seal, misspelled words. Funny thing, Greg, I say, the California Maritime Board says Crescent Cove has no inspection authority over private docks. Oh, and you look a lot like Veronica's cousin from her Christmas photos. His face goes ghost white, and he bolts back to his boat, citations fluttering into the water. I wave at a drone buzzing overhead Veronica's, no doubt, watching her plan crumble. By noon, she's escalated, rallying half the neighborhood to my lawn, megaphone in hand. This man's turning our historic estate into a fish market, she bellows, pointing at the Raven. He's ruining your property values. Some neighbors nod, but others people she's bullied before look uneasy. I step out, phone recording. You want to talk property values, Veronica? Let's talk about the Thompsons, fined into foreclosure because their kids' bikes were unsightly. Or the Lynns, who left after you harassed them over their garden. The crowd murmurs, stories spilling out. A woman, Maria Lopez, steps forward, eyes blazing. Is that why you pushed out the Kims, too? For your resort deal? Veronica falters, but she's not done. That night, I get a tip from Maria, a retired ATF agent who's dodged Veronica's wrath before. She's heard Veronica's meeting Victor Kane on his yacht, the King's Gambit, in international waters thinking they're untouchable. My boat's no ordinary rig. Beneath the rust, she's packed with military-grade gear sonar, laser mics, drones disguised as gulls. Maria and I head out, fog cloaking us as we anchor a half-mile from the Gambit. The laser mic picks up everything. Veronica raging about me, Victor admitting to sabotaging Edward's yacht, planning to torch my house next. House fires happen, he says, voice like gravel, especially in old Cliffside mansions. My heart's pounding now. They're already in my house, arsonist sent by Victor. I crank the Raven's real engines, 350 horsepower roaring as we hit 30 knots, crashing through waves. Maria's on the phone with the Coast Guard, sending them after the Gambit. I call in a favor from Jake, an ex-SEAL buddy who owes me for finding his lost ship. Get to my house, Jake. They're burning it. We reach the dock in 8 minutes, gasoline stench hitting us before we see the open back door. 2 guys are dousing the place, but they're not expecting us. Maria draws her old service pistol, freeze, ATF, and I tackle one before he can light a match. Jake's team storms in, for SEALs moving like shadows, cuffing 2 more outside who are rigging explosives. The house is safe, just barely. Sirens wail as cops and feds swarm in, the Coast Guard nabbing Victor's yacht. Veronica's arrested at her mansion, screaming about her rights as cameras catch her mascara-streaked face. By sunrise, it's over. Victor's a serial killer for hire, using Veronica to pick targets dead across 3 states, all tied to real estate grabs. Edward's files crack the case wide open, exposing a network of corrupt HOAs. Crescent Cove rebuilds. Maria takes over the HOA, voids Veronica's fines, invites back families she drove out. The Thompsons move back from Nevada, the Lynns from Oregon. I'm still here, in Edward's house consulting for the feds now, using the Raven's tech to chase smugglers and crooks. Sometimes I stand on my dock, watching the fog roll in, thinking about Edward. He knew Veronica would come for me. Knew she'd underestimate a guy who looks like a fisherman. He left me the tools to fight back, not just the house, but the truth. This town's different now. The beach Veronica wanted to privatize is a public park, kids learning to surf for free. But I wonder how many other Veronicas are out there, running their little empires, picking off the vulnerable? And how many Edwards quietly setting traps for when they're gone? What about you? Ever dealt with a bully who thought they owned the place, HOA or otherwise? Drop a comment. Tell me your wildest story, where you're from, what set you off. Justice isn't just winning, it's making sure the next guy doesn't have to fight the same fight. Hit that like button if you're with me, and subscribe so you don't miss what happens when the next bully picks the wrong doc to mess with.